example of why we're filming. Well, we've been live for a bit.
Oh, are
so
you?
Facebook got like there was a 60-second preamble of some of the funniest, most entertaining, engaging entertainment you've ever seen, and it'll never be on YouTube. They'll never know because it's only on that 60 seconds on Facebook, and you're welcome for that. They got to see live when I broke the pen. YouTube only gets to see the aftermath, the afterbirth. All this, they get to see how that it's fucking.
The name of the movie.
Write that down. After.
Yeah.
Birth.
It comes alive.
Coming this Christmas.
It's
It's a family picture.
Where did that thingamabob go?
Uh-oh. What thingamabob? Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely
fiddling
sure.
around with it.
It was on the table. Was it not?
Yeah, then I remember, where did this piece come from?
No, I know, but it was on the table. Pardon us, people, while we're live as we
I don't really need to know that.
For pieces that have
I'm using the picture.
fallen to the ground. There's this. That was
the piece.
That was the piece.
But not the piece.
It was on the ground though. So I would imagine the
Whoa, dude, you were censored there for a second.
I was censored. Well, I mean, I'm a bad man, so I mean, you gotta.
Are you on the run? Or you
gotta be careful. Yeah, I am.
That's like the government censoring.
I'm too fat to be on the run. I'm on the waddle. I'm waddling away, but you'll never catch me.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Like the penguin. Found it.
Hey, do you know the penguin has his own show coming?
Is it going to be Buddy that played the penguin?
Oh, girl, yeah.
Is it really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I thought they were getting rid of all that.
No, they're making a sequel that could its own universe.
I already don't care about this DC reboot.
It's like
James Gunn has found a way to. He came out, we're redoing it. Henry Cavill's fired, and now we're just going to do sequels of everything.
Well, because those take place.
Seems like it was kind of personal with Cavill. The more this unpacks itself, it sure looks a little personal.
Back for Black Adam, and then he gets fired, and then
I guess they fired The Rock too, right?
Fired The Rock, yeah. So I don't know if it was like James Gunn's thing. I'm not the politics. That's why.
DC Universe sucks in film.
As of right now,
books are good. The books are good, but DC still pumps out great. DC's better than Marvel overall, as far as like actual quality of writing and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like the Justice
characters have much deeper backstories, and especially Batman. Batman's
he's the complexity of Batman.
Way better than Spider-Man when you consider the actual, just the depth of the character. It's got so many more layers, super complex, like a constant unpacking of somebody that's really good, really good.
Tragedies, all that kind of stuff. Super deep.
Right, yeah, Batman's phenomenal, but DC's film franchises are just the shit. It just leaves so much to be desired, and people are so full of them. They come in and they tout this stuff like we're changing everything, and they don't, and you just look like you're a fucking windbag, dude. Like, do what you said you were gonna do. I thought you were so sold on you were rebooting this whole universe and you had this whole game plan. I was excited for that. I wanted to give James Gunn the opportunity to see if we could finally get things on the right path. And it seems like it's been kind of this guy's going to go and that franchise is going to be scrubbed, but like, this one won't, and this one we're going to do another one. Yeah. And, we'll keep the Flash going.
Well, he announced a bunch of movies, and these are like C-tier superheroes. Like
that might not be the worst thing. To be honest with you,
that's the Blue Beetle that's coming out.
Guardians was C tier. Guardians was mad C tier, and Guardians is arguably Guardian. No, fuck no. Nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Pre-Guardians movie, when Guardians didn't even have Rocket or Groot, or when you think of the Guardians from the 90s, that comic book, you would think that's B tier just because it was Marvel. That Guardians group that you think of from the movie just got together a couple of years before the movie.
Right, like 2009 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. But they had the first book though.
Right. Yeah. But that's a C tier franchise that because they put a lot behind it and had a good creative push, it's arguably an A tier.
Yeah.
It's arguably
I think it was done well. That's why I think James Gunn should have the benefit of the doubt. But
no. I'm not okay. No, you changed too many ideas now. I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt anymore. So that's not on negotiate. I don't owe James Gunn shit. But that's why I'm arguing that maybe the C tier things and giving them some production value might not be the worst thing. Because one thing James Gunn did do was take Guardians from what I would say is C tier on the Marvel side and make it arguably A tier. Because it's arguably mainstream. So where like my mom might know who Groot and Rocket Raccoon are. She might. Probably not, but might. She would know who Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man are. So that's kind of the tier differentiators, I would say, is like, does every Tom, Dick, and Harry walk in the street know who it is? Do fans know who it is? Or do only like hardcores know who it is? Guardians were pretty hardcores before. Guardians are pretty mainstream now.
Yeah. Okay.
So C tier on DC might not be the worst thing, because one thing about Batman is there's a lot of books, there's a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, it's a lot of good stuff, but fuck, has it run a course? Maybe getting some different players involved outside of the Justice League that's completely focused on things that aren't that DC might not be the worst thing. Like how Marvel, I know people don't like the Venom movies, they don't like Carnage, they don't want, but they didn't interact with the Avengers. So they had all these ancillary teams around the Avengers eventually commingle, make these great Avengers movies, make all these crossover events with all this stuff, but you still have these like other peripheral, and I know they're done by different studios, but to a comic fan, it's the Marvel brand. I don't care that Sony does Venom, and so to me, it's like we've got this other little universe that exists over here where Venom doesn't have to get involved with the Thanos thing. He can just do the Venom. So DC needs more of that, less of the Batman, Superman.
Like you're in your own kind of universe.
You're just in the DC universe, but you notice how they don't have to like put Daredevil in the major cosmic battles. They can somehow find a way to insulate Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen, have us believe it's still in the same world, but we don't question why Daredevil isn't. So it's like, because we realize that he's compartmentalized in something that's more suited for his abilities, and we don't bring him out so he's a fish out of water and things, right? And you build that up. And not that Daredevil's a C tier character, but so I like that about just have guys that are completely removed from Justice League. They have no attachment to Justice League, but they're DC guys. They want to try to move in a direction.
It's going to be interesting. I like to see what he does with it, because
he did it with Guardians.
It does make
he did it with Guardians. So I
sense that he might do that, or that he is doing that.
I like a lot of the C tier characters with both. Would you not? Would you consider? And I mean, people can tell you in the chat if they want or whatever. But like, would you consider Grifter a C tier DC character?
Yeah.
Would you watch a Grifter show by himself?
Yeah.
That's the point exactly. Because I would watch that in a fucking heartbeat.
You got me.
And it has you don't ever have to have Grifter interact with Justice League, with Flash or anything like that, right? Like you can.
The Green Arrow show worked. Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Supergirl show worked.
Like that's what I'm saying, is just have these, let them see what they can do on their own and give Batman and Superman a break.
Yeah. Because I don't think they're single. I think they're like a team movie. I don't think they're single character ones.
I would like to see some single character shows, even off of like I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of the individual Teen Titans, Raven, somebody have their own show, like.
Oh, Raven.
Right. There's a lot of good DC characters like in the roster. It's just one of those things where like we just have DC hammer the same 8 guys. And I get it, because those are your money. You're right. You're going to send out the best girls at cocktail hour, right? Like you don't, right. You save Bucktooth Betty to serve breakfast, and you, like, no offense, but right. You try to bring in tips well, you tell her I said hi when you see her.
I will. Next time I'm there, I definitely will. But he might do a good job though. Like you said, like I didn't really think of a Guardians of the Galaxy recently.
Never.
Like a C character. But
I can tell you when did Guardians come out?
2013.
Okay, so pre-2013, I can tell you a truth about yourself that I can say by 100%. Pre-2013, you didn't think about the Guardians of the Galaxy at all in any context, let alone you might not have even known they existed.
I knew they
peripherally,
name, but I didn't
you
know
might have heard the words, but never known anything contextual. And now you have backstory that you could elaborate on almost every character in the group.
Yeah.
That lets you know that what
new Guardians of the Galaxy.
that's what the group is though now. Regardless. Well, the old one had a much longer comic book run. Why didn't they make more inroads?
I don't know why.
Because it wasn't as well done. Because James Gunn, as the conduit, made such a good. He did a good job of bringing a guy up from jerking the curtain to being able to main event WrestleMania, or almost, because they still were. I don't want to disparage the Guardians because they're a great team and it's really funny. And Buddy, that's the leader. What's Star-Lord's name?
Oh, Peter Quill?
No, what's his name? The guy that plays him.
Oh, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt does. I don't know anything about Hollywood. Does a great job because I've seen those. They did a really good job of making those guys, but they're peripheral to the Avengers still. They're not as good as the Avengers, but they could hold their own. They could co-main event WrestleMania.
They were in the last.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Captain America, Iron Man, all them versus Thanos in the main event of WrestleMania, co-main event of WrestleMania, easily a Guardians of the Galaxy verse. And that's a big thing from people that were jerking the curtain at the beginning, to use all wrestling analogies in regards to where they are in the tier system, the hierarchy.
They got their movie coming.
Good for them.
Yeah,
that's good movies.
They're in the Nova Corps.
Are those not the best Marvel movies? Like the ensemble Marvel? That's what I mean. They're the best ensemble Marvel movies that I think they had going. Like, I've never seen better ones. The Guardians were ones I watched and were like really into the whole way through. And I didn't know between pre-2013, I knew the comic book. I knew the character. Like, I knew who Star-Lord was, obviously. Like, it took me a minute in 2013 when that movie came out to be able to put Drax the Destroyer as Drax the character, because he looks so dramatically different. Right, he's got the like iconography all over him, whereas he's just normally green, right, with all the purple, and he's totally toned down in the movies.
Yeah, he has like the scarring tattoos on him.
Yeah, he looks like Hakushi did from the 90s in the WWE, where he's got all the kanji tattoos like all down his entire body.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, I think I heard that you had, well, while we're here, I'll walk the wall. We'll take a look, 50% off. All right. Here, you take this. You walk that, because I don't like leering over you.
Okay.
Yeah, there. You do the heavy lifting. You need to do the heavy lifting. It's part of the process. Yeah, right, trip. Look at that. Bumblefuck tripped over a toothpick already. Dick and that Hunt for Wolverine. That thing's a Calgary exclusive. I think there's only 500 of those.
Something like that. 300, something like that.
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me 3?
I like this Wolverine Samuel cover. That's like the card.
Jusco, yeah, that's 92 masterpiece. Jusco.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Jusco's a beast, and the bezel around that, like the actual frame, is so iconic. The 92 masterpiece look.
Yeah. It is so cool.
So iconic,
I like
bro.
this Joker book.
They did that on what? They did that in 3 different ones or 4 different ones, all in the same month. Because that's from the Catwoman one. But I know there's a Batman, a Detective Comics, and I want to say a Robin or a Nightwing that have all that same thing.
The same Joker
The
face?
Joker face from the same month. They're all slightly different.
Oh, why couldn't you get like a Robin face over there?
I don't know. They went with this motif here because we've had all of them, but they are slightly different from each other. But they all came out like the same month. They're interesting.
I know we've had
we have had different
But I thought
ones.
they were all the same.
Nope, they're not all the same. Or if the face is the same, which I don't think it is, obviously the one side on the right isn't the same, where the writing and the bar and
I think
all
on
that
one of them they had his fingers pulling his fucking face, maybe.
you might be right.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Fingers pulling the lips apart.
Yeah.
I've seen a few movies like that on the hub.
Yeah, I see that all the time, right? It's out there.
Here's another one like that. We kind of got the same framing. Kind of looks like 92 masterpiece, but not exactly.
No, not
that's feral Wolverine. That's where he doesn't wash his taint.
Oh, damn!
Right.
Yikes.
Stank ass Wolverine.